right, guys, let's talk about YouTube success made brain dead simple. I've got a whole presentation to go through here. This is going to be absolutely the only video you're ever going to need to watch on this subject. And just in case you don't know who I am, this was me a few years ago. I wasn't really making money. I was barely getting any views at all. I also had barely any money in my bank account. And I was working as a pharmacist in a job that I hated. Plus, I had about $300,000 in student loan debt. And this is me now. So that same photo that you saw over here, the same screenshot, that's the exact same date as where this arrow is pointing. It's so small you literally can't even see it because I'm getting an absolutely ridiculous amount of views. Just to give you an example, here was one day where I got over 194,000 views, and it's not even the highest day, right? And I've made over $1 million in AdSense from YouTube. Plus, AdSense is just the tip of the iceberg. You can make money in many, many other ways. So here's me getting a bunch of sales, 3 sales a day, about $22,000. Here's me making about $243,000 in a single day. And I also travel the world and live my dream lifestyle. I'm not working in a job that I hate. I'm not working in a company that I hate where I'm working 80 hours in the company, because at the same time, when I was working as a pharmacist, I was also trying to do business, and I ended up working like 100 plus hours per week, right? And now I only have to work 4 hours per week in order to maintain my YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and talk about how you can do this as well. We're going to be breaking down YouTube success, and I'm literally going to be making it brain dead simple. We're going to be starting from the absolute beginning. There's probably a few things that you've heard here. That's okay. You can just skip ahead to the next parts. Because everything's important. Some of the stuff you get, some of the stuff you're not going to get. But let's go through it. Picking a niche. The simplest method to pick a niche, guys, just think about your own struggles. What problems have you faced in the past? Okay. These are going to be things that you've dealt with and solved on your own. That is the simplest possible way to pick your niche. And the reason for that is because you don't have to do any market research. You know the problems that you had. You know the emotions that you had when you had those problems. And you know how to solve the problem as well. So you know how to do everything already. So that's the easiest possible way for you to pick a niche. And then you just very simply help others with the same problems, right? Find ways to assist others who have the same issues, and this becomes your niche. Now, when you're first starting, you might have maybe 10 different problems and 10 different things that you helped with. For instance, on my main channel that I make multiple 6 figures per month with, I originally, when I first started, I talked about college degrees and how, the college system in the US sucks, and kind of what you can do about it. I talked about how to write grants. I talked about, basic personal finance concepts, all kinds of stuff like that. And the one that really took off was the college degree and just education in general. Like, how do you get a job? If you plan on going to college, how do you get the most out of college? And if you don't plan on going to college, how do you get educated so that you can actually land a job that's really good and you can make a ton of money and you can live a better lifestyle, right? So that's basically what I talk about on my main channel now. Most of my videos are about that. And it took a little bit of experimentation to find that, but I started off with problems that I already had, and then I simply solved those problems. And that is the easiest possible way for you to pick your niche. So just as an example, if you had an autoimmune disease and you found ways to manage them, right? People who have autoimmune diseases know exactly what I'm talking about. They make you tired, for instance, maybe you have brain fog, et cetera, et cetera. If you figured out how to manage it, you can make content to help others with similar problems. I saw an offer the other day. This guy's absolutely crushing it, where he helps entrepreneurs that have brain fog and autoimmune issues to have more energy. That's pretty much his offer. And why is that his offer? Because he did it himself. Another reason why this is so good is because the power of stories. There is nothing more powerful than when you tell stories and it's your own story, okay, for getting clients to buy your stuff. There's nothing more powerful than that. I had this same exact problem that you have, and I was able to solve it, and now let me help you solve it too. This is something that no one else can ever copy because it's your story. No one can copy your story. So just about everything else in marketing can be copied, but your story can't be copied. And that is why it's so unbelievably powerful, not only for getting clients, but also getting clients success, because they believe. You get them to believe that they can get success, and therefore they're going to take action. Okay. This is the easiest way to pick a niche, right? And that's just like, there's other ways of picking a niche. You could do crazy amounts of market research and all that kind of thing. But honestly, guys, this is the way that has worked the best for so many people out there. And some tips here: focus on painful problems, right? Start with the pain. The more painful the problem, the better. So think about the most painful problems, list them down. You can do this right now. If you're struggling to pick a niche, list down your most painful problems. And also, by the way, this works really well for content too, creating content. And that could be your niche. That could also be content that you create. And then target people with money. Okay. Make sure that people who need your help can actually afford to pay for it. So, you don't absolutely have to do this. I know a girl, for instance, who teaches people English, and these people are usually from, third world countries. And she has to charge super, super low ticket to teach, for her courses and her training and stuff like that. And she makes $400,000 a month. But generally speaking, guys, she has a massive, massive channel. Generally speaking, it's much better to just target people with money. It's just so much easier to make money if you do this. All right. Second, content creation. Don't overcomplicate it. Make listicles. Why? Everything is a listicle. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck is a listicle? Well, it's just a list of things. And if you think about it, this is a listicle. I'm going through 1, 2, 3, etc. Right? Books are listicles because books have chapters. Even podcasts, a lot of the time, are listicles. They have different, things that they want to hit on. Just about every piece of content out there is a listicle. Even a story. All stories go through a particular narrative structure. You have the rise, you have the fall, you have the hero that meets the mentor, and blah, 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 right? So if you look at like Disney's storyline, it's a listicle. Everything is a listicle. And that's how you should think of your content, because that just makes it so much simpler to make your content. It's just a series of lists, whether it's a how-to guide, a step-by-step guide, a story, a course, even if it's a case study or a testimonial, it's still going to be a list, right? Because with the case study or a testimonial, you want to try to tell a story, and stories, like I just explained, are lists. Okay. So examples of listicles, these might not be marketed as a listicle, but it could be a how-to guide, step-by-step instructions, case studies, and stories with parts, right? So everything is a listicle. And if you think of your content creation like this, it's going to make it so much easier, rather than sitting down and trying to list like every possible thing that you could say about this thing. You just want to make a list. Make a list of the most powerful, valuable stuff that you can think of, and then, just do it in your content. And think of your content like a listicle, because it'll just make it way simpler for you to make it, right? That's the bottom line. So just remember this. Recording your videos. Talk to your younger self. When you're recording your video, imagine that you're giving advice to a younger version of yourself. This helps you speak clearly and with conviction. And make your videos as real as possible. Raw, authentic content is doing incredibly well right now. People are starting to get tired of the retention editing era, where there's just lots of stuff popping up on the screen. It's just crazy. Like all the time there's something popping up on the screen. There's a new edit, and then now there's a sound of a horn in the background, and there's a meme that pops up on the screen. That stuff worked really well 5-10 years ago. But even people like Mr. Beast are switching to raw, authentic content where they're telling stories. Okay. And that's much more effective. And speak as if you went back in time and you're basically given the chance to speak to your younger self and advise them. Okay. If you do that, you're going to speak with so much authority and conviction with the things that you say, because you're literally just giving advice to the younger version of yourself. And guess what? We're not unique. All of us are not unique snowflakes, unlike what society wants to tell you. If you had a problem, chances are millions of other people had the exact same problem. And so if you speak like you're speaking to the younger version of yourself, and you only had maybe like 15, 20, 30 minutes to talk to them, that is the type of content that you want to make. Okay. So this, for instance, I'm imagining that I'm going back in time and just telling the younger version of myself, like, all the most important things when it comes to YouTube, right? Before I even knew how to do YouTube. Now, another thing that's really, really important here, guys, I'm going to highly recommend this, is using the there's two different types of content you can make. Okay. So you can basically just make a quick outline and then talk off the top of your head. That's basically what this content is. Now, of course, I also had a Miro board made too. But that's basically what this content is. It's an outline. It's kind of like a visual outline. And then I just talk off the top of my head. Now, the second way that you can make content, and this is incredibly effective, is with what's known as the Elgato teleprompter. Okay. Elgato teleprompter is also unbelievably effective for making content. The reason it's so good and the reason this is the best teleprompter is because of the fact that you can actually, it's actually just a second screen. So you can just drag whatever your screen is onto the Elgato teleprompter. And then when you're looking at your screen, it'll make it look like you're looking at the camera. Okay. And yeah, teleprompters can be really good. You do have to practice a little bit, not sounding monotone, because if you're not careful, you might sound a little bit monotone. But this is really nice because you can actually, especially if you have a B2C channel or something like that, you can actually just have somebody else write your content for you. Now, B2B channel, like this channel, for instance, I don't do that because of the fact that I'm an expert. I can't really hire someone else who is at my level of expertise. And so I kind of just have to talk off the top of my head with an outline on this channel. Okay. So these are some pro tips for recording your content. And this is like the absolute most effective stuff. Consistent uploads, guys. All of these YouTube gurus, not all of them, but a lot of these YouTube gurus are telling you that you need to upload less often, only upload once a week, only upload once a month, that kind of thing. And one of the big reasons they say that is because it sounds great for marketing, right? Oh, you only have to upload once a month. Like, oh yeah, I think I could make one video per month. Sounds great for marketing. It's all BS, guys. When you're first starting, you need to consistently upload. You need to post regularly. Now, once you have an established channel, you can post less regularly. You might notice Mr. Beast only posts once every 2 weeks or once every month. And that's because he has an established channel. He knows what the heck he's doing. But when he was figuring out what his audience wanted and what types of videos he wanted to make, the man posted like a madman. He was posting many, many times a week. And same with just about everyone who's successful on YouTube. The problem with a lot of YouTube coaches and a lot of people who are successful on YouTube that give this advice is that they use what they learned when they were already successful, post less often and just make higher quality content. And then they think that's going to work for people who are not already successful. And that is not true. It's not going to work for many, many different reasons. So what you need to do is you need to upload videos on a regular basis. And it might take 30 to 100 videos before one takes off, but that's all you need. You just need one video to take off, and then your channel is going to basically be set after that point, because you're just going to make more videos similar to that topic, and they're just going to take off. The audience that watched that video is going to watch the next video and the next video, etc. Okay. And this will drive traffic to your other videos. So all those other 30 to 100 videos that didn't do very well at first, all of a sudden they're going to be taking off as well. Okay. So it's very important that you consistently upload for many different reasons. One of the biggest ones is skill. You're not going to get skilled at YouTube if you're not consistently uploading. Just like you're not going to get big if you're not consistently going to the gym, right? You're not going to get in shape. If you go to the gym once a month, you're not going to get in shape, right? But if you upload all the time, you are going to develop the skill of YouTube. Now, once you're already skilled at YouTube, once you already have a following, then you can reduce your uploads, right? But another reason is experimentation. I'm just going to put EXP. You want to experiment. You need to experiment with different types of content, different format structures. Maybe you like making listicles, how-tos, case studies, ultimate guides, step-by-step guide, like tutorial content. You don't know what you're going to want to make, and you also don't know what your audience wants to see. And that's why you have to experiment. You also, in many cases, don't know the exact niche or the exact angle that you're going to come at the niche with. Again, that's why you've got to experiment. And plus, another reason is just simply at bats. Think of this like a baseball kind of analogy, right? Every single time you make a video, you're swinging the bat. And let's just say you're terrible, right? And you only hit 10%, right? You only hit 10% of the time. So you're terrible, right? Really good baseball players might hit like 30%, like really, really good baseball players, 25, 30%. Well, the thing is if you swing the bat 100 times and this person only swings the bat 10 times, well, they're going to hit around 3 and you're going to hit 10, right? Because you hit 10% of the time and they hit 30%, but they only did it 10 times. So they're going to hit around 3. So you're still going to get more home runs, right? It's just that simple. So it's just a numbers game at the end of the day. And I guess another way of saying this is it's just a numbers game, right? Obviously, the more skill you have, the better. But at the end of the day, it's just a numbers game. You got to swing the bat more times and you got to upload more videos. Okay. So absolutely post regularly. Terrible, terrible advice to only post once in a while. And know that a rising tide raises all boats. So once you have that one video that takes off, all the rest of the videos are going to take off too. Experimentation and tinkering, very important as well, guys. So try new things, experiment with different video styles, formats, and ideas, and see what works best. The first video style, the first video topic, the first niche that you post in is probably not going to be the one that you end up in. I mean, think about if you had any success with any product before, the absolute original idea you had was probably not what ended up being the successful idea. Just to give you guys an example, YouTube, the platform that you're probably watching this on, started out as a dating app. It was literally a video dating app, okay? So their first idea was not successful, but they pivoted and they tinkered and they experimented. And that is why they were successful. And this happens with just about everyone. You're probably not going to have perfect product market fit. This is a very important thing to understand. You're probably not going to have perfect product market fit at first. You're going to have to tinker with it. You're going to have to see what people want. You're going to have to see what people think of, you as like a teacher or an expert. And you're going to try different things and you're going to find the thing that works for you. And when you find something that works, tweak your content to match that style. Once you have a piece of content that, one, gets a lot of views, and two, much more importantly, drives a lot of conversions and sales, make more content like that content. Like double, triple, quadruple down on that content like your life depended on it. Because when it comes to your business's life does depend on it. And regularly test new ideas and adjust based on what your audience likes. I've pivoted several different times on my main channel because there were certain types of content that were working extremely well, and then they stopped working. So what did I do? I pivoted to a different type of content. I experimented a lot. And then I found another type of content that worked really well. And then guess what? I stuck with it until it stopped working. And then I repeated the process. And that kind of drives into the next point, focus on what works. So make more of what works. When you find a video that performs well, create more content similar to that successful video. Learn and apply. Figure out what made the video popular, whether it's the format, the topic, the style, and then use that in future videos. Double, triple, quadruple down on what works. I know I'm probably seeming a little redundant right here, but this is extremely important. So keep doing and pushing what works. And then 7, just keep going. Guys, business is not a game of who's best. It's the game of last man standing. Okay? There are so many people that were more talented than me. There's a lot of people that are harder working than me even. But what I can absolutely say is true is there's not a lot of people that are as stubborn as me. I just kept doing it. I kept tinkering. I kept consistently uploading. And that is why I'm super, super successful on YouTube. And that is why I've helped a bunch of other people also become extremely successful on YouTube. I, of course, focus on content creators that need to monetize or coaches, consultants, agency owners, online service providers, etc. You can check out my coaching down in the description and the pinned comment below if you're interested. And don't be like the ones who are smart but have a fragile ego that stops them when it doesn't work at first. Be like the dumb ones that keep going till it works, okay? I could tell you that the smartest people in many cases are not the ones who are successful. It is the most stubborn people, the people who have grit, the people who just simply don't give up. Those are the people who are successful. Just keep uploading consistently, have grit, just don't ever take no for an answer. Just keep trying, keep tinkering, keep experimenting, and eventually one of those things is going to take off. And it's almost like throwing stuff against the wall until something sticks. Once it sticks, just keep throwing that thing that's stuck against the wall over and over again, and you are going to be happy. So like I said, guys, go ahead, coaching down in the description in the pinned comment below. If you want to absolutely blow up and make a ton of money from YouTube, I can help you do that. I've helped a bunch of people do that already. 15, actually 16 now, 7-figure entrepreneurs 5, 8-figure entrepreneurs I've helped blow up on YouTube. YouTube is without a doubt the best platform for making money with those types of businesses that I mentioned. So also, guys, check out my other content. Have a good one.